from Parliament buildings, and they're about to place it onto the military carriage that will transport the body to the Nyayo National Stadium for the state funeral. A lot of those dignitaries, including the president, still at Parliament buildings. I think they will be following closely behind the body of the late Prime Minister. So the casket bearing the remains of the former Prime Minister now being loaded onto the military carriage that has transported him from the moment the plane carrying the remains touched down at the JKIA. The next form of transportation has been this military carriage. It is the same carriage that we saw a few years back during the funeral, the state funeral of the late President Daniel Moi. Before that, the late Mwai Kibaki. There you have it. Pictures courtesy of Azimio TV. Interestingly, Azimio TV still comes back. They still own, and that was what you're saying, the DNA of Raila Odinga is still in opposition. It is the Azimio which is still not in government. Yeah. But they still feel that they own bits or a huge chunk of this man. And what a moment here, Bonamwene Njoka. These are rare moments. We rarely get to see and experience such. And as technology improves, now we're getting it even by the minute.
Which is true. As Wakili Nyaribo here mentioned, technology is an enabler, is also a challenge. Like we have talked about the tracking of the plane, and it becomes a mobilizer to the extent that people already know what to expect, when and at what time, and they mobilize. It becomes, if now security doesn't also anticipate that, it becomes a problem. So it's a good thing, but it's also something that can create security breaches. The other thing you mentioned is about Azimio, and now there's almost, it's like, I don't know how long, I mean, it's like there's been a fight to own Odinga Raila. Right now he's owned by the state, yet he was a borrowed asset. So possibly to the time they should have returned him back to the owner. I don't know.
Fred, talking professionally, a strict professional, elite approach, it appears that you must work with government. That is the message we are getting now. And that is the message that has come out, that in the end, you must work with government. And the serious business people, serious professionals who want to advance their careers will understand that language. That it's not even coded. It's there that you must be with us, and it's very strong. If you can bring down, not bring down, but if you can bring into, executive side, a person in the stature of Raila Odinga, then who are you as an ordinary business person who wants to make it, who wants your books corrected, who wants everything fine with government? It appears that the message is you ought to find a way to work with the government.
The question is, if Raila Odinga would not have been in the broad-based government, would he have received the kind of honors we're seeing him receive?
I doubt. I think the answer is absolutely no. Actually, that's a question I was thinking.
My take.
Naribu was talking about it. If we had, and he was still on the trenches fighting the government,
despite what he has been in this country, Bonamwene, he's been a prime minister.
My take, most likely he could have been accorded a state funeral.
But not
Let me give examples.
Okay.
Prof. Wangari Maathai.
Yes.
She was given a state funeral without military honors. It was done at Uhuru Park. Then from there, the family took her for cremation. Sorry.
You want to interject?
Wangari Maathai.
I wanted to interject because Wangari Maathai didn't die during Moi's time. Remember?
Okay.
It was Kibaki, and the Kibaki was different.
Wangari Maathai had been a thorn in the flesh of the government, but the part that owed her the state funeral status was a Nobel. If she didn't win the Nobel, I doubt they could have gone for. So most likely, it was the biggest international honor we have ever received.
Yes.
Then we have Lucy Kibaki, wife of president, state funeral, no military honors. Wamalwa Kijana, vice president, Kibaki's best friend, state funeral, no military honors. Then we come to this. The only 3 state funerals with military honors, Jomo Kenyatta, died in office. That's why he was buried in military uniform. He was commander-in-chief while he died. Moi, state funeral, full military honors. Kibaki, and now Raila.
Allow me to capture this moment, live pictures there from Parliament as the carriage carrying the remains of the former Prime Minister exits Parliament. And I've seen some very interesting picture there that right behind the military carriage is the entire leadership of the country, walking on foot. I don't know if they're going to occupy their vehicles, but I've seen the president, I've seen the CJ, I've seen the military, the parliamentary speakers walking on foot behind the carriage. For how long they're going to do that, we have to wait and see, because that would also be quite spectacular to watch. But yes, I think there'll be a procession. Yes, they're going to their vehicles, the CJ there. All right, so yes, there you have it. Probably the president will be the next vehicle, will have the next vehicle following that carriage as they head towards the Nyayo Stadium for the funeral service. Sorry, I cut you short.
Okay, I was finishing. I was saying, and now